So if you're prospecting an average price point of, let's just say $1,000,000, every deal, let's say you closed 4 deals at $1,000,000, right? $1,000,000, let's say times 2.5% commission is $25,000. 25 times 4 is $100,000. Okay. That's a quick way to do it. Now it's like, okay, I want to make 250 grand. Well, if they're all the same exact price, if you just keep selling $1,000,000 properties, you might have to generate more leads, right? Like obviously you're gonna have to generate more leads, but if you can also start prospecting $4 million, $5 million, $8 million, $10 million deals, where like, let's just say, you know, to make $250,000 divided into 2.5% commission, you have to sell $10 million worth of property. That might be one deal in commercial. It just depends on what kinds of, price ranges you're prospecting. So this is why I like to say, hey, take this weekend. It's almost the end of Q2, so you're gonna have, a 6 full months worth of data nearly. And you're gonna just divide out all your numbers, figure out your numbers. Come to next week's training and the weeks following training with your numbers. I wanna know how much your calls are worth, how much your conversation's worth, how much your leads worth. And again, if you would like to make more money, either increase the metrics, basically do more of what you're doing. It means spending more hours on things that'll actually make you money, right? 2, pull a better lead list, right? So instead of pulling lead lists where your average deal is $1,000,000, or 500,000 or 300,000, you start doing deals that are much larger. It drastically increase your price points. I have people on here where your average deal size is like 300, maybe 350, maybe $500,000. And then there are some people on here where your average sales price is $3 million. And then there's some people on here working on deals as big as 80, 90, $100 million. So whatever you're working on is going to then correlate specifically to what you're going to on average make per deal. Then I still have, a specific risk factor, right? And I say like risk factor lightly, but like obviously if you're working on a deal for $100 million, the odds of that deal closing is probably, a lot less than a 2 or 3 or 4 or $5 million deal. So that's why my team likes to focus on the 2 to 20 million range. We've had a lot of success in the 2 to 20 million range. There's a lot of volume in the 2 to 20 million range in our market, right? If you take a look at Reonomy, and I try to do this with all of you during your opening calls, but it's like saying like, okay, what pockets, what asset classes, what niche can I focus on where I have enough volume, right? So that I can get to a sizable amount of money this year, right? If your goal is to make, say, $1 million, right? If your goal is to make $1 million and you're focused on deals that are worth $500,000, right? All the deals you've closed are $500,000 sales. You know how long it's going to take you to make $1 million? You know how many sales you got to have in order to make $1 million? An insane amount, right? And by the way, this is what I was dealing with many years ago in the residential space. Many years ago in the residential space, I was selling $500,000-$600,000 homes, and to make $1 million a year, I was selling hundreds of houses, right? I'd have to sell over 100 homes, and it was exhausting. Now I've realized the more and more I spend time focusing on these metrics and saying like, hey, if I just want to make, and think about how cool this is, right? This is how amazing this industry is. If you want to make, let's say, I'm going to put a crazy number. Let's say $10 million a year, okay? Which sounds ridiculous. Well, let's just say $10 million bucks. If you want to make $10 million a year, if you want to make $10 million, and let's say the average commission check is 5%, because we double in, my team and I double in every single deal we work on, just about like 98% of all deals we work on, we represent both sides. Let's just say we take an average of 5% commission, okay? Now, you got to do at 5% commission to make $10 million a year, that's $200 million worth of real estate. There's teams don't even do $200 million worth of real estate in the residential world. There's a lot of teams where they do 40, 50, 60, 80, $100 million, and they're like the number one person in their office. But let me break this down for you. $200 million bucks. Now, obviously, if you're going to do $1 million deal, right, you're going to have to sell 200 of them. Okay, but if you do, let's just say on average, let's say your average deal size is 10 million, okay, divided by $10 million, you only have to sell 20 properties. In a lot of your markets, just about any market you're in, I would say, within a county or two over, within a county or two, right? You can go to a county or two left or right of you, maybe 3 counties for some of you who are in very rural areas. I guarantee you there are markets where you can find $10 million deals pretty regularly. And maybe for some of you, it's $5 million deals, right? Like, and some of you, it's 20. Right? Like just depending on where your market is. Obviously, it's here in South Beach, right? There's a lot of 20, 30, $50 million deals. There's an overabundance of larger deals. I'm not saying sell $100 million properties. I'm saying I would like for everybody to get your average price points up to as much as possible without touching the super ridiculous stuff.